Hi everybody, my name's Peter Laws. This is the Flicks the Church Forgot. This is the second part in a two-part episode where I've been discussing HorrorCon in Sheffield, UK, 2017. If you want to hear my sort of more my longer reflections on the weekend, then look at part one, where I discuss all the different aspects of the weekend. But for now, I'd like to share with you a video that is of me facilitating a Q&A with the actor John Jarrat, who's most famously perhaps known as the killer from Wolf Creek, Mick Taylor. He's a really great interview guest, and I think you'll enjoy listening to him. Obviously, I wasn't able to film this because I was doing the actual chatting and hosting at the time. So I want to thank Chris from Dunnster 71, the YouTube channel. He does a lot of great videos. You should check him out and subscribe. But he filmed this, and he kindly let me use his video and embed it into this one. So if you'd like to listen to John Jarrat, here he comes now. And oh yeah, if you don't like swearing, well, you're gonna have to cope. Oh, and one other thing before we start the video is we had shown the trailer for a film called Boar, which is about a killer pig that John's going to be starring in, and we've just shown this before we start talking, so that explains why we are suddenly talking about killer pigs. So, John, you've gone from pig shooter to pig victim there. What's it like to have the tables turned and have a giant pig chasing after you?
Oh, it's good. It's good to be... I play a pig shooter, but he's a nice guy. I get a chance to play a hero, but it's a scary film, you know, so it's a lot of fun. The pig was an animatronic pig, you know, 6 people in it. 6 humans in making their eyes blink and the tongue go up and down, and we're actually told not to get too close to the mouth because the bloody thing could actually bite you, you know?
Really? Well,
yeah.
Them tusks.
You could get impaled. So it was kind of weird when you did it because the pig was mute. There was no noises. It was going...
Okay. You just got to imagine it.
Yeah, they didn't put the...
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird. You expected it to yell at you a bit.
Yeah,
you know?
I suppose that's unusual. In some films you hear about actors who are having to play against a sort of CGI type thing where they can't even see anything, but to have the physical thing in front of you made a difference. You were, obviously, you are known for your roles of good guys like in this and also bad guys. Do you have a particular preference, depending on the role, a good guy or a bad guy to play?
Oh, bad guys are a lot more fun. You know, good guys are a bit boring.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can mess about, and there's a lot more character to a bad guy.
Yeah.
I suppose, and a lot more fun. Especially Mick Taylor, he has a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He really enjoys himself.
Yeah.
It's an enjoyable character.
I mean, thinking of Mick Taylor, to see how, particularly in Australia, you went from, you know, you were presenting Better Homes and Gardens, the TV lifestyle show, and then all of a sudden for Australian audiences to be seeing you, you know, gutting people and chopping their dicks off, that's quite a big change. How did people respond to that in Australia?
Yeah, well, I've always played nice guys, you know, right back to Picnic at Hang Rock. I was, you know, this sort of easygoing country guy, because I'm from there. I was brought up in the outback. I'm from the bush, as we say in Australia.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was very different. I had played Bad Bastards, but the couple of films I did, but they didn't do very well, so I wasn't known for it.
Right.
But I really enjoyed the opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, you're speaking about growing up, and you were the son of a coal miner, is that right?
Yeah, the old man was a coal miner,
Yeah.
A bit like all your dads.
Yeah. But I mean, that's quite a sort of a change, quite a leap between when you started in a small town there, and then all of a sudden you're this sort of like international star. I mean, there's a big story in between that.
Yeah, well, I'm just having to be good at acting, and it got me somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, there's no great secret. I mean, just about every bloody actor started from some tiny little middle class family or some, you know. Not many rich kids become actors.
Yeah. I mean, was acting seen as a reasonable thing to start learning how to do, or did you ever get people saying, don't do that, it's a waste of time?
I don't think you can learn it. You're good at it or you ain't, you know. I don't think, if you're a painter, you can either paint or you can't. You know, you go to school all your life, you can't bloody paint, you're not going to learn how to paint.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I can act. I was a class clown at school, you know. and I'm bunging it on right here, right now, see?
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
So I make a quid out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Now, obviously, Mick Taylor's not necessarily a big fan of us pommies. How you coping with?
Well, I don't like anybody.
Yeah.
Except Australians.
Yeah.
But well, Australians understand that.
Yeah.
No, we're nice people, but Mick's not very nice.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to sort of meet somebody like Mick Taylor in real life, I mean, would you say this guy is just pure evil, or is it more complicated than that?
No, he doesn't think he's pure evil. He doesn't think he's evil at all. He thinks that like he's a roo shooter and a pig shooter and he buffalo, and which are species that shouldn't be in the country. It's feral animals. And then all these bloody pommy backpackers and things started coming into the outback.
Yeah.
And he had to drive a long way to get a prostitute, and so he thought, well, these bloody tourists are a pain in the ass. I don't like them. They're just like scum, like pigs. So I start killing them. They're a lot more fun than a pig.
Yeah.
And then he thought it'd be good to play with them before he killed them.
Yeah.
And so it's just amusing him and making his life a little bit more pleasurable. Yeah. That's how he looks at it.
Yeah, well, that's pretty logical, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so, he doesn't care.
Yeah. Can I offer the audience an opportunity to ask some questions?
Yeah, I'll come out here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So if anyone wants a question, just stick your hand up so we can see.
Stick your hand up. Hey, where's...
Just naturally do that? You're like a natural mimic, or what?
No, all Australian actors can do that.
Yeah.
We're all good with accents.
But not all actors can do Australian. That's
none of them.
Yeah. So you picked the right country to.
We can do all your accents. You can't do ours.
Yes, you can do everyone.
Even poor old Meryl Streep couldn't get it. Somebody stole my Bible. Yeah. It's apparently a hard accent to do.
Yeah. But
Anyway.
she can't do it. It must be hard.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Here we go. I'll pop up. Pop up.
Take your time.
You said before that you did mainly good guys, but when you went to Mick, was it hard to get into the role to play an evil bastard?
It wasn't so much the evil bastard, it was the complexity of it, and the fact that psychopaths have got no empathy, and look, I don't understand what he does. I can't understand how anyone can do that. So I had to just make, just justify it is the best thing. I had to justify it and then just play it as Mick would think. And so that was kind of difficult. And the justifying was like, it's just like kangaroos, I think they're tourists, and they're a pain in the ass, just all the justifications. And no empathy, and they don't care, they don't feel anything. That's why he killed a kid too, he doesn't feel anything. And so that was difficult, but I kind of got onto it, and then I kind of enjoyed it in a macabre kind of way, and it was fun scaring the actors, and I could beat them all up. I'm pretty good with my dukes, so I smacked Nathan around a bit. So, and then I came up with a funny voice, right? Did all that. And then I came up with a silly laugh. And I thought, this is either going to be absolutely brilliant or a really bad Warner Brothers cartoon. So I was a bit apprehensive as to when I turned up on the first day to do Mick. But by the end of that day, I felt that it was working, and they were all really happy with it. So. Yeah, it was a bit... Oh, you can ask me a question.
Can you do the laugh for me? Can you do the laugh for me?
This is going to be a quick Q&A, isn't it? Yeah. I'll do the stare and then I'll piss off. Okay, come on. There's so many of you.
John, is that laugh of yours, which is like a very memorable and iconic laugh, is that something you worked on to make, or is that just happens to be how you laugh?
When I... No. When I first talked to Greg McLean, the director, about doing it, we thought it'd be a good idea if I worked out this chuckle. It starts out as a chuckle and it ends up like Jaws music, And so it took me about 6 months, and I was wandering around the house and I was doing all sorts of cackly laughs and stuff, trying to come up with it. And I went, and my dog, a Labrador dog, went. And I thought, something in that one. I like that one. So, yeah, the dog sort of gave me the hint that it was an all right laugh.
It works. You've done some acting with your son Charlie Jarrat in a couple of movies. I was watching Savage's Crossing a little while ago, and obviously your on-screen relationship in that is, you basically want to beat the crap out of him all the time. What was that like to play against your real life son on screen, but to have such an antagonistic, violent relationship with him? What was that like?
Well, it's harder for him, I think.
Yeah.
Charlie, he's my manager, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah, he's my manager now, and he does acting, singing. He's a very talented boy. And as a kid, he was a pain in the ass. He's still a pain in the ass. He's one of those full-on kids. And this is a good question because I can answer something else. The difference between me and a psychopath is my son, who I've never hit in my life. I've never hit any of my children. Because my man used to bash the shit out of me, so I swore I'd never bash the shit out of anyone else. Anyway, except backpackers. So my son would drive me crazy, right? And I'd want to just slam him up against the wall and punch him in the mouth, but you never did it because you're civilised and you don't let your will run riot like that. But Mick Taylor would. That's the difference. They carry on with that sort of primal, angry bullshit.
Yeah.
And but anyway, he grew up. And we worked together, and I worked with him just recently again.
Okay.
So it's quite an experience, but he was very upset because he had to kill me in the film.
Right.
And that really, really upset him because we're good mates. Yeah, we're really good mates. Yeah.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah. Come on, one of you guys ask a question. You can't leave it all to the Rev.
Yeah. Have we got one over here? Oh, here's one. Oh, he's got a... There's a mic coming.
You all look pretty good. There's not a lot of colour in Sheffield, except him. We talked about it. Everyone's in blacks and browns and very colourful.
Right, we've got a question coming.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking that I think the first thing I ever saw you in was in that episode of Inspector Morse quite a while ago. What was your... I'm probably going to get shot for asking this at a horror convention, but what was your memories of that and working with John Thor?
Well, John Thor was a wonderful actor. He had a terrific intensity, and he just locked you with his eyes, and he made you work. And he was a very good, very precise actor who knew how to get in the moment. But he's also very kept to himself. He'd finish his lines and go to the caravan, or finish his line and go back to the hotel. So he wasn't a very sociable person. His Offsider was a lot more fun, but so I didn't really get to know him as a person, but as an actor he was tremendous. Yeah. Thanks. No worries. Any more for any more? Hey, there's a hand up. See, you're getting warmed up now. Yeah, what do you want? He's too slow. He's too slow, Rev.
Your films are based on kind of a true story.
No. I did another film when I was a child called Picnic at Hang Rock. Anyone know Picnic at Hang Rock? Yeah, Peter Weir's first film, and that was based on true facts. See, that's the trick. It's based on true facts. Okay? It's based on a serial killer who kills people, so that's a true fact. It's just a way of sucking you all in to thinking it's a true story. If it says this is a true story, or based on a true story, well, it probably is, but it says true facts, you've just been sucked in, basically. No, it's not it's just things that other psychopaths have done, like the severing of the spine. That was by a guy called Ivan Milat, who was a Sydney psychopath. Any more for any more?
Got a question here? Got you. Beat you.
Hi. I was going to ask you a question about Stalker. I don't know if any of you have seen it. If you haven't, I recommend it highly because it's a mindfuck. I was going to ask, what drew you to a role like that? Because it's not horror, but it's not horror, if that makes sense.
Aye. I understand you. That's all right. Lovely. A Stalker. What are you talking about? Bloody. What have we got here? Zombies. What are you doing over there? What's everyone doing over there?
Been invaded.
There's chairs over there if you want to come and sit down.
Yeah, come in.
Yeah, come on in.
Feel free to sit down.
Walk across. Yeah, okay, good. Stalker, I produced Stalker as well. My company made Stalker, and it's about 2 people in a house. And I sat with my other 2 people I work with, and I said, oh, we need to make a movie. We haven't got a lot of money. It needs to be about 2 people. It needs to be in a house or a junkyard or just in one location. And it needs to be 2 brilliant actors, and I'll be one of them. And it can be 2 men or a man and a woman. And we found Stalker, simply because we thought we want to make a movie, but we needed to make one where we weren't going to spend a lot of money, but hopefully that the acting would be up there, like Streetcar Named Desire and all that sort of stuff. And thank you for saying that, because I do think it's pretty bloody good, and you can get it online and stuff. Stalker. So that's the reason I made it, simply because we were able to raise a budget.
Do you have any more plans to do sort of behind the camera stuff, writing and producing?
Yeah, I got another film called Who Cares Sal that I'm getting up, which is the lead role's a Down syndrome guy, and we think it's the first film that the Down syndrome person is in the lead. Normally they play supporting roles and stuff, but this guy actually holds the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, so we hope to do that in February.
And that's so refreshing, not to just get an actor in to act, but having Down syndrome to get the real deal.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good stuff.
And he's a good actor too.
Yeah.
He's a really good actor, the guy that we got. Yeah, so that's that.
Is it true that you were in the running to be Stuntman Mike in Death Proof?
Not Stuntman Mike.
Stuntman Mike, man.
No, I wasn't Stuntman Mike. It was the guy. No, what happened was I was in Quinton Road. I call him Quinton. My mate Quinton. Lily Quinton. He wrote the bar was the Dingo Bar, and he wanted an Aussie to run the bar.
Yeah.
And then he gave me the part, and I'm all bloody excited and everything. And then he decided I had to be American bar, and then replaced me with a wonderful actor, fantastic actor, Quentin Tarantino. Yeah. And anyway, I got to do a cough and a spit on Django, so kind of made up for it.
Yeah. What did you make of Tarantino's Australian accent?
Oh well, I tried to help. Yeah. But he was it was okay. If you ever watch Django again, forget about these first 3 words. I wasn't there when the fucker did those 3 words. Only 3 words, right? The rest of it, I sat with him and made sure that, you know, through the speeches that he did it pretty well. And the 3 words he says when he gets off this bloody horse, he says to Jamie Foxx, "Shut up, Blick." It's a South African blick. And in America, if you say black, it's exactly like we say. Hi, you're a black guy. It's black. Like Australians, black. I don't know how you guys say black. Black. Well, he's fucking black, that guy. Yeah, you say black. Yeah. So that was that.
Yeah. Right, got more questions? Hands up, anybody?
And it was fun scaring the actors. And I could beat them all up. I'm pretty good with my dukes, you know. So I smacked Nathan around a bit. So, and then I came up with a funny voice, right? Did all that. And then I came up with a silly laugh. And I thought, this is either going to be absolutely brilliant or a really bad Warner Brothers cartoon. So I was a bit apprehensive as to when I turned up on the first day to do Mick. But by the end of that day, I felt that it was working, and they were all really happy with it. So, yeah, it was a bit scary, but not anymore because I know it works. Yeah.
Not only with Mick's voice and his his outfit and his look is a very particular look. I mean, were you involved much in choosing how he would look?
Yeah, I did. Bloody silly looking Greg wanted me in shorts and a work shirt and working boots. But I understand the outback person, you know, so I built an entire character and give him a backstory and did all that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Have we got a question for you?
John, you mentioned earlier that your dad used to bash the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Right. There's a scene in the series where you pulled up alongside the childhood farm.
Yeah.
And you just gave a glance.
Yeah.
And then it was a really shitty glance.
Yeah.
And then you drove on. Was there any of the John Jarrat in that look?
No,
Did you
because
channel anything of the real John?
no, it was just Mick thinking about what an arsehole his father was. But my dad wasn't an arsehole. He was an all right guy, but he had a bad temper, and I come from an era where we used to get belted. You know, it's called discipline. It's called domestic violence now, but it was called get in your bloody room, old bloody DG, and bloody and cop this, and you know, it was just what happened in those days, and especially in the country, and it wasn't unusual for my mates to get bloody good hidings as well, you know. So anyway, I'm 64. Is anyone else as old as me in the audience? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? You do? Yeah, see, most people my age had the shit beat out of them. Yeah, so no, I didn't. My old man was a good bloke. I love my old man. He was very funny. A lot of his humour is I use in Wolf Creek. You know.
I suppose that's one of the things about Mick Taylor. He actually, I mean, he's a psychopath, but you want to hang out with him. You want to like go for a beer with him because he's funny and interesting, and
yeah,
there's an attraction to him as well as this.
Yeah. If he wasn't a psychopath, or if you didn't know he would, if you ran into Mick, like he has 6 months off killing people. He doesn't do all the bloody time.
Yeah.
He lives in the Esperance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this whole backstory, you know. So he goes home, like most psychopaths, and they all say, he seemed like such a nice guy, you know.
Yeah.
And he'd go to the pub and he'd have a few laughs, you know. And they say, I was had a drink with Mick last night. God, he's a funny bastard. Yeah. But
I think that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah. Young actors ask me, what makes a great actor? What do you do? And I just say, just face the front and go for the laughs. So, but what about tragedy? That's especially in tragedies.
Is there a question up here? Let me see if I can get up there.
He gets around, doesn't he?
Hi. My nephew was a really big fan, and his father, and he couldn't be here today.
Is that your nephew there?
It is. It's
He's
Adam.
a young 'un.
Yeah, he is.
Aye. What's his name?
It's Adam.
Our Adam.
Adam.
This is our Adam. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
There's a part in Wolf Creek where you're torturing somebody, and you say, very good. And my nephew wants to know if you'll say it for him, please, so he can tape it and show it his father to prove that he was here.
Very good. Very good. Now go and get some counselling. You're too fucking young to be watching
Any more questions over in the dark? Oh, here we go. Thanks.
Hi John, you mentioned Quentin Tarantino already, but can you tell us a bit about working with Michael Parks in the same movie as We've Lost Michael this week?
Oh, have we? I didn't know him very well. No, Michael, God rest his soul. The lovely Michael. No, he's a lovely bloke. But he mumbled a lot, and I couldn't understand him. And he couldn't do an Australian. He's supposed to play an Australian, didn't even fucking try. And this, I'd sit around with him all day, right? Because I work with him all the time. And this is how he talked, right? Yeah, well, I knew Bobby Mitchell and we did the what you're doing this by that. I don't know. Jeez, I looked there. Well, I got that. And then anyway, we end up in Reno and like that. Yeah, fucking hell, we did that. What the hell? Hey, you like that story? Oh, great. That's really good. Yeah, so he mumbled at me for about 2 weeks, so I didn't really get onto him. God love him, and he's gone. There you go. No, he's an all right bloke, but I really didn't know him, so that's why I'm not, crying in reality.
We've got about 5 more minutes, so has anyone else got a question they want to... Here we go. Oof, tall one.
Hey John.
Hello.
My question is, what's next for Mick?
What's next for Mick? I'm doing another series. I'm going back in July, August to shoot another 6 eps. Who's seen the series? Hands up! Look at that. It's a good series. When they come to me and said, when Greg said, I think we'll do a series on television, you know, it's getting a bit gratuitous now, isn't it? I'm trotting Mick out a bit now. And but the scripts are great, and it's a really good series, I've got to say. If it was shit, I'd tell you it was shit, but it's really good. It's really good. So we're doing another one of those.
The scripts are great, but also, I mean, the production value, the cinematography in that is it's stunning.
We got a bloke called Jeff Hall, who used this easy rig, which holds the camera on a cable, so it sort of floats. And this guy, some of the rehearsals, we shot some of the rehearsals and they used them. This guy could frame, and we never have to go twice for framing, you know, to get the shot. He was amazing, stunning. We got him again, thank Christ. Yeah.
So there's the next Wolf Creek series. Is there a Wolf Creek 3 movie?
Well, because the Wolf Creek series are going so well, and they pay so bloody well, I tend to want to keep doing them. You know? I was 65. I got a retirement plan here. You know, so they might do a third series, and then we'll do Wolf Creek 3, which is written, but it probably won't be till late 2018, early 2019, and then Wolf Creek 4. In Wolf Creek 4, I got one of those little things that the old people drive around the streets, you know, one of them. And it's got a couple of spotlights on it. You see it coming, this is the opening, right? You see it coming down the footpath, and they've got the spotties on, you know, and the gun rack riding down. And then you widen out and he turns left into the outback old people's home. And starts stealing all their false legs and taking their teeth and breaking them up. And
I can see that, I think. Yeah. Any more questions in the last few minutes before we start wrapping up? Oh, here we go.
G'day, John.
G'day.
How do you feel about these guys thinking we all drink Fosters?
Well, I'm glad you are, because no one in Australia does. It's a shit beer. Only people we could suck into drinking are the you mad bastards, you know? No, we drink VB and 4X and... Ever heard of 4X?
Yeah.
It's Queensland beer. They call it 4X because Queenslanders can't spell beer. That's the joke, you know. There you go.
Questions to end.
Is that it?
Oh, hang on. Excuse me, Mr. Hand there.
Hi. Okay, so as your character of Mick, what is your favourite killing?
My favourite kill? Very sick woman. Where you going to high school later, are you? Is that where you met her? Yeah. Well, I don't kind of think of it in a macabre kind of way. One of my favourite kill, I just loved it when I tore the guts out of the German. I don't think of it like that, you know. That's Mick's favourite kill, that'd be different, but John Jarrat's favourite kill, like Mick, I don't know. Oh, no, I don't know. That's a hard question. But the one I had the most fun with recently, kills, was killing Yoga Woman in the last series. That was great. She was 78, and she was amazing. She fell on the ground and everything. And well, I like killing the Yoga Woman.
Did you say like, I'll stretch you out or something?
Yeah. I had live a lot. And I stretch her out. And funny thing is, we weren't supposed to kill Yoga Woman. And I got up for breakfast that morning.
Yeah.
And I was running around looking for the director, right? And the director apparently was running around looking for me, and we couldn't find each other. And then we ran into each other, and we both said almost at the same time, "We got to kill Yoga Woman." So, yeah, I like killing Yoga Woman. That was fun. And Yoga Woman liked being killed. She was a great old actress. She's great. Yeah.
We've got 1 minute to go. I'm going to ask you another last question. You've been in so many different films and TV shows. Are there particular films that you would say you are particularly proud of? That stand out.
Well, you wouldn't probably know them, but Australians know them. But Picnic Hang Rock, obviously. I did a film about Vietnam called The Odd Angry Shot, which I really liked. I did a film called All Men Are Liars, where I played a rock and roller. I like that. I got nominated Best Actor for that. And I did a mini-series in Australia, it's worth getting if you're into it, but about Ned Kelly, called The Last Outlaw, and that's brilliant, even if I say so myself.
You did a good accent too.
The Irish accent and all, right, I can do that too. So, yeah, of course the one before that was Mick Jagger, for fuck's sake, playing Ned. Ned's my height, looks a bit like me, you know, little Weasley, little fucking Mick Jagger. And then, God love him, Heath Ledger played him, who's brilliant actor and wonderful in the Joker, but Ned's really tall and can actually grow a beard. And so those two Ned Kelly films are no good, unfortunately. But this one was particularly good, and I highly regard that project. Yeah.
Well, John has got an autobiography that you've written recently called The Bastard from the Bush. What a great title.
Yeah.
Check that out if you want to hear more about his story. He's around. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to John Jarrat chatting. He's a really fascinating guy. He's got a lot to say. And as I was saying in my last video, what's interesting about him is that he's got this very clever ability to be able to like be ripping into people and mocking them and saying even the most offensive things, and yet be doing it in a kind of heartwarming, light-hearted fashion where you think he's all right. This guy, he's not being an idiot. He's being a really lovely bloke, but managing to rip it out. I've got loads of friends like that from when I was growing up, particularly, who that was just the normal way we spoke to each other. So it's quite fun having someone who's coming in to do that. So he's a great guy, and I hope you enjoyed listening to him. And do check out his new film called Bore, which sounds like it's going to be great. Anyway. But for now, though, I hope you can check out and subscribe to the Flicks the Church Forgot YouTube channel or the podcast. But until next time, don't forget the Flicks the Church Forgot.